Does anybody know about the country of Estonia? Okay. Yeah. They got their independence because everybody went on the street and sang. They were the only country in the world that didn't, by coup, get their independence. Actually went on the streets, and 90% of the population sang.
What do you mean sang?
It was a freedom song. So I created a freedom song that I want everybody to start singing. And it's based on Wishing on a Star. Okay? So I was going to play it so everybody could get the tune, but my old computer didn't.
I'll put it on the site.
Okay. Yeah, on this on the site. So I'm going to pass out everyone. Guys, the same tune is Wishing on a Star. The reason I chose that one because it's very
When you wish upon a star?
Wish upon a star, yeah.
When you
wish on a star.
Like
Wishing on a star. The star is the name of this
like it's a
song.
Disney tune when you wish upon.
No, Wishing on a Star.
Oh, would you like to swing on the star?
No, Wishing on a Star.
Where's the music? Well, now you'll have to. How does it go?
That's what I mean. I'm trying to get
by getting singing.
Sit down.
This would be. Do you have a card reader?
I don't even know what that is.
Then you don't have it. Anybody happen to have a card reader on them? My computer isn't reading the cards.
Oh man, that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I added one extra verse, which is the top of the back page. Otherwise, it is that same. But it follows the same stanza over here. The music is just that I wanted to say a little bit more for that one. Anybody who didn't get one, either lucky.
You'll get one, sir. Can you hum a few bars? Just so we can...
Oh, I heard that song, "We're Wishing on a Star" was on the radio.
A wishing on a star?
Yeah.
Darn, I wish I could get this working. Let's see. Bird, do you know it? The song has been done in 13 different versions since it was first written in, I think it was 69 or 70, 71, somewhere around there. Everybody loves doing it.
Is that similar?
Yes.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. There are many beautiful groups today. It's very melodic. Yeah.
I can't get this thing to...
We were wishing on a star. Follow where good
Wishing on a dream.
You follow what we need.
You got it.
I'm not sure the second is the same. I'm not sure. That's why we need.
That's why you need it, yeah.
Oh, you have the music there.
Can I, does your computer have a card reader already built into it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
On the side, there's a slot.
There's a slot. Let me look at your computer.
Praise the one you follow us so strong. We're holding on a dream. And love is what we need. dishwasher. You know, Friday night on the radio.
And we're wishing on the rainbows as we see. Yeah.
My lecture is better.
Yeah, the card readers are going to have to adjourn in the office. Just so you can hear it.
If there's Wi-Fi connected, if there's Wi-Fi, I can get it online. Put the song.
That's right, you could, couldn't we?
Go to BMP3, almost every song.
Yeah, that it'll crash if you go on that. If you had told me when I called you.
Wishing on a tree, what we need.
What's those want?
A lot of what we need.
Wishing on a tree, allow us what we need. And wishing on the rainbow, as we see the praying of all the people, taking a lead in our happiness tomorrow will come. And wishing for the sharing that are done, and what we see, our government that be, so far away from home, so far away from free. Just think all this year as we spend, we just can't let it go. All the joy that heaven sent, and maybe you'll know better, but we know, and in the name of freedom, we will what you sow. We feel it's time you should take up this charity. We feel it's time for us to get back together and make a list of things and surely when we're together, forever. It's time you should make us say, we feel it's time for us to sing our prayer and trust that when we're together. Wishing on the star, you follow where our hearts. We're hoping on a dream, our need for all three. Give me that rock. On the rainbow that we see, we pray for all the people who take a lead. We're hoping all the days to come and the days to go, praying for the day to accept us from our home.
Just forget that next one doesn't happen. So we come down here. Around the beyond. I want to put this verse in. Now there's another version, maybe easier for guys to. Nailed her.
Wishing on a star,
anybody play this tune.
Well, all we need to do is, just that what he will have it, and then we'll have it recorded, just the music, and then we'll sing on.
Like it's a woman's voice outside. There's a karaoke version.
Pardon?
There's a karaoke version.
There is a version of karaoke. Let's see, that's copywritten, so I don't want to use that. I have to get copyright to use the tune. I have to pay royalties to do that. But I don't want to use somebody else's arrangement. That means you have to be double. Anyway, you know the tune now. Yeah. Okay.
We lower it down, we don't have to.
Okay, showtime. Showtime.
You, that's her.
Are we going to
They also did one. You go online and.
Who was this first?
That was Cover Girl. We have smarter people on the side. Okay.
Meeting comes to order.
Yep. Start behind me. Roger, if you have questions. Yes.
What about green tea? You think it's beneficial? A lot of people put it out as a health food.
Because they're selling the product.
Well,
Green tea is your vegetable juice.
what are you talking about? What did you have?
Cooked green tea is, it has lots of toxic minerals in it. Any metal that is in a vegetable, when you cook it, you release that as a toxin. It's no longer bound to the esters in the plant. So anytime you cook anything, whether it's tea, no matter what it is, it becomes toxic.
Now, there is some tea that comes from Korea as a green powder. And you put it in cold water. Would that be any different?
No, they've had to steep it and cook it to get it in granulation form, powder form. And it takes great heat to do that and process
You
it.
can just put the tea bag in a bottle of water and leave it in the sun. You can drink it that way.
Yeah, but that's a poor man's vegetable juice. You're not going to get much from it because there's no enzyme activity in it. There's no activity on it.
You want to go drink a glass of water?
Well, it's probably a little bit better than just water, but it's pretty close to just water.
What if you put it in a blender? One time I put some mint leaves, blended it, and then strained out fresh mint leaves.
That's fine.
Yeah?
That's fine.
Is it too much water though?
Well, it's still too much water.
Yeah? Okay.
Better to have juice.
Yeah.
Add mint to your juice. It would be a lot better. Okay.
I do. I was wondering what you would do if you're traveling. If I'm going to.
I travel all the time.
But how do you take food? Do you take things?
Yeah, I have a letter from an MD that says I was diagnosed with diabetes and cancer, and I have to eat every hour, and I have to take so much food. When I go to Asia, the letter says I have to take 20 to 30 pounds with me. You can't X-ray if you have to check each one by hand. So I go 2 hours early to give them time to do all that process. But I write letters for my patients. I charge 80 to 100 depending upon the situation. And that lasts about 4 months. You can use a letter for about 4 months. And some people have used it for a couple of years, but if a TSA agent who's a tough guy, he's not going to let you use it more than 4 months. So, it says, I need 2 quarts of milk, I need my raw meat, sauce, vegetable juice. So I go on with a whole bag of food. And they have to hand check everything. Because it says, cannot be scanned, you know, it has to be hand checked.
So it's carry-on?
Yeah.
And they do it.
Don't put anything in check-in. They put everything through a huge radiation scanner, which is 100 times an X-ray.
Do you have any liquids with you?
Yeah. That's it. I take 2 quarts of milk and the vegetable juice. When I'm going to Asia, I'll take 3 quarts. 3 quarts plus a juice. Quart of juice. So I put a gallon. They flip out, but they always let me do it.
Do you have to refrigerate your juice on the plane? How long is your flight?
Well, by the time, let's say I take off here, I get to Taipei. I'm 2 hours there. Layover, and by the time I get to Bangkok, it's about 24 hours.
And the whole time, like, what do you do?
I don't mind fermented juice.
You don't mind?
Fermented juice is good detox. When I went away, I left a quart of juice in the refrigerator. I came back 2.5 months later. I drank the whole thing. It's delicious. Fermented juice is delicious.
Does it taste like beer?
No. Tastes very tangy though.
What containers do you put in?
Glass. All my food's in glass.
Do you ever have a problem with the butter?
Except this last time I got
Do you
my
ever have a
philosophy.
problem with the butter when they check it with the scanner? Always go through?
They check it with the metal detector. They don't put it through the scanner.
Because when I did it, they wiped it with a white circle, put it in the machine to check for
That's a
explosives.
check for nitrogen,
Yeah,
yeah.
they said it had THC.
They threw away all the raw.
Throw all my butter. Sacramento Airport.
And we had a letter from you.
Did it explode? Well, then you need to wipe it before you take it. Must have gotten some manure on it. Yeah, 'cause the manure has nitrogen. That's why they say when you're a farm directly. So you wipe. I always wipe my honey. Honey has strong nitrogen in it, so it sets off like it's like it's nitrous oxide.
You take a glass of honey?
Just a wet cloth, a damp cloth. The outside,
You take a glass of honey?
yeah, there's a jar of honey.
Did you say you
I take butter, I take everything. Yeah, I even take, not all the time I take eggs. I have too many accidents with eggs. Most of the time I do take
Could you
eggs.
put them in a jar?
Pardon?
Could you just stack them up in a good jar?
I don't like doing that. You could.
Just because they're oxidized or?
Yeah, I don't like them oxidized. But, you know, sometimes I'll make a milkshake. Take my eggs that way. Put 2 quarts of milk, of milkshake and a quart of juice. Or pint of juice. So that's how I do it.
Is stainless steel?
Recommendations for like treating skin disorders, eczema, psoriasis.
Well, like I said in the book, the moisturizing lubrication formula. Having at least 2 a day if you have, let's say, psoriasis, which is pretty severe. Have 2 of those a day. And you take like 3 ounces at a time, 2, 3 ounces, you know, about every 2 to 3 hours. Just keep doing that, you're going to subside, and then just take it down to 1. It takes you 8 months to get rid of psoriasis. Use eczema, usually 10 weeks. Pretty good. Whatever's going on. Especially when it's easily digestible with honey and lemon juice. Do you have a question?
Yes. Regarding the raw cheese regimen that you recommend for me and others, how much, what the nuts and bolts, how much leeway, for instance, do you always eat the cheese before a drink or a meal? Do you always eat it a half hour regardless of when you eat that sugar cube that you mentioned?
No. Person. I recommend people eat small amounts of cheese to absorb the poisons that constantly dump into the stomach and intestines. That's not the normal route. That's not the healthy route for toxins to leave the body. 90% of toxins are supposed to lead to the skin. Because the lymph systems are so blocked, connective tissue is so jammed with trans fatty acids, which are plastic fats, that you've all been raised on donuts, chips, French fries, anything that's been fried and heavy with carbohydrates is then fried in a trans fatty oil. Trans fatty oil means that the oil's been hydrogenated. And what hydrogenation is the process of making plastic. So trans fatty acids are plastic fats, plastic oils. 99% of all oils used to fry foods, no matter what they are trans fatty acids because they have an indefinite shelf life. 100 years now. They're dead. That's why they're plastic. They are not alive anymore. They will not help you. They will jam your lymphatic system, jam everything in your body. So,
you don't have relatives who are going to fry foods because they don't believe this. What's the best thing for us to tell them if they're going to fry something? What kind of thing to fry it in, Lord?
well, no, you should fry it in stone-pressed olive oil or coconut cream or coconut oil. Olive oil.
Back to my question. Yes,
Let me tee it up, because everybody else understands the answer.
Right.
So, eating this cheese will absorb those poisons as the body dumps them into the stomach rather than out the skin. And it does that. The lymph system takes its waste, dumps it under the skin to be perspired out of the skin. If it's jammed, it won't do it. So it dumps it into the mucous membranes. When you get cold or flu, or you're spitting up mucus regularly, that's elimination through your mucous membranes. The mucous membranes of the intestinal tract also, that's where most of them get done. Whenever you get nauseous, that's an indication that something toxic you've just eaten or somewhere else stored in your body is going to the stomach and dumping into the stomach. Now, hydrochloric acid neutralizes about 80% of all toxins. So nausea creates a lot of hydrochloric acid. The stomach produces massive amounts of hydrochloric acid from nausea. That is that reaction. Forces the stomach to produce tremendous amounts of hydrochloric acid, more normal, more like 5 to 8 times more than is normal to digest protein, like meat. So it's very concentrated. If you vomit, that means the body has decided to use that hydrochloric acid to utilize it to an extent, and then you get rid of it immediately. Vomiting is the quickest way to get rid of the most poisons. Next is diarrhea, but then you upset the whole ecological bacterial environment of the intestines. So the cheese will absorb it. Depending upon the toxicity of the person, I'd recommend people eat a little sugar cube sized amount of cheese, which is a half a teaspoon, every 15 to 60 minutes. Clay won't do it. If you have clay, you're going to get constipated and all of a sudden not digest everything. Clay is helpful in that situation, but you can't eat it frequently.
Would you add butter?
Once a day, twice a day at most for clay.
Would you add butter to the cheese?
Butter to the cheese is okay. You should keep it so thin. So that will absorb the toxins. Now, your question?
Yes, as far as leeway in taking every 15 to 45 minutes, do you always take it 10 minutes before a drink or a meal, or do you just stick to the interval throughout the day regardless of the meal?
If you're going to have a meal that's set at a certain time, and your cheese is supposed to fall in the midst of it, always eat cheese 10 minutes before you eat that meal, or drink a milkshake, whatever it is. So you'll absorb the poisons into the cheese, and they won't get into your food. Because if it gets into your food, you're just going to recycle your poisons. And that's what 99% of people do out there. Recycle their poisons.
What do you do when you're like sipping milk like every 10, 15 minutes? So you take a little
Then
sip.
you just still stick to your cheese every 15, 20, 30, 45, 60 minutes. You still do that.
You mean you do the cheese and wait 10 minutes for the milk?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep. And then let's add, I've got like construction workers who are heavily toxic, and laboratory personnel who deal with a lot of formaldehyde and mercury. I have them shoot every 15 minutes. So they'll take that and wait 7 minutes, drink some sport formula or milk or milkshake, and then 7 minutes have that piece of cheese again. And they do that all day long. When it comes to a meal, of course, they don't eat the cheese during that time of the meal, but they eat it 10 minutes before the meal, and then about 25 minutes after the meal, they'll eat cheese again. Then 10 minutes after that is when you have honey and cheese together. When you have cheese without honey, without fruit, you do not ingest the cheese. There are no enzymes in dehydrated food, no matter what it is. So you have to add honey or some kind of fruit like an acidic fruit like pineapple or papaya to provide the enzymes to digest that cheese. So twice a day, I recommend that after 25 minutes after your meat meal, you have a little piece of cheese. 10 minutes after that, you have your cheese with honey. And that's your mineral supplement. Okay. I see women with 32% bone loss and osteoporosis reverse that in 9 months by doing that. 9 months. It used to take 2.5, 3 years before I started experimenting with that. Now in 9 months.
Any kind of raw cheese or even cottage cheese?
Does not matter.
Cottage cheese, okay.
Cottage cheese is fine. As long as it's not too wet. As long as it's not too wet.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Does it have to be unsalted?
It has to be unsalted. Salt is an explosive. It starts fractionating your food so you absorb it. So if you have raw salted cheese, you're going to reabsorb your poison. If you have pasteurized cheese, you're going to reabsorb your poison. If you have salted pasteurized cheese, you're going to really toxify it, as well as reabsorbing your poison. Toxin. Do you have a question?
Not yet.
Okay, I'm back.
What's the best way to help remineralize your cheese?
Just the way I said. You eat cheese often, so your body's not using your food minerals to bind the poisons, and when you're eating the cheese and honey together, you're filling your body with tremendous amounts of it. If you've got a real serious problem at any particular time, you do that 3 times a day. Twice after a meat meal. If you're only having 1 meat meal a day, then you have to stick it in 2 other times. In the middle of the night, sometime in the middle of the night is best. Then that will help the teeth.
Is it true that you detox your head through your gums or through your teeth?
Yes, your brain detoxes through the sinuses, but mainly the gums, the tongue, and the salivary gland. When you get a white tongue, that indicates the poisons are mainly leading through the tongue. Your body uses the calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, potassium to bind with those poisons, or else your tongue would turn into a very acidic, sore, bleeding appendage. So that white tongue, although the Chinese say that's a bad thing, it's a good thing. Your body knows what it's doing. It's using those minerals to attach to the toxins coming through the tongue. Scrape it off, that's fine. Take some oil or something, swish it around your mouth to clean it off the tongue. It's not good. Keep you from swallowing it and having to pass it through the intestine.
Is the cheese a substance, as far as remineralizing teeth, is the cheese a substitute for the fermented milk and eggshell formula that you recommended to me last year?
Yeah, it works a little better.
Cheese is better. Good, I like it better.
I do too.
Precede the cheese and honey with the cheese?
Pardon?
Do you precede cheese and honey with 10 minutes before a cheese?
You eat the cheese, then you eat a small piece of cheese 10 minutes before you have the cheese and honey.
Yeah, like even in the middle of the night, someone do it?
Yes, still I have a piece of cheese first, but you don't have to wait full 10 minutes, 5 minutes. It's fine during the middle of the night. And when you have that cheese with honey, it should be about a 3-to-1 ratio maximum. So let's say you're having a tablespoon of cheese, you have a teaspoon of honey only. You have 3 tablespoons of cheese, you can have 2.5 to 3 teaspoons of honey. Okay. Kathy's speaking.
Oh, yeah, no, I want to listen to that. What do I do? There's people that say to me, my hearing is going out. I have these currents, I've been on the diet for 15 years in December, believe it or not, when I came to. I don't know what.
Well, people, you're still going to degenerate because you spent 45 years on a toxic diet.
Yeah.
So your body is inundated. Every cell is inundated with toxins. It takes 4 years, according to Pottinger and Howell's work, to remove all the toxins from the body when you're on 100% raw diet. If you're not on 100% raw diet, you're adding toxins, it's going to take longer. So there's going to be deterioration somewhere until it's gone.
Well, it takes the hot baths are going to go out some of it.
Hot baths help discharge a lot of poisons throughout the skin.
And even the ears, too.
Even to the ears. But you usually don't put your head under the water, so you put a hot water bottle at one ear one night and the next ear is another. Yeah. That's the best way. Whenever you have a problemed area, the way you speed, increase circulation and nutrients to that area is applying heat. If you apply ice or cold, what happens? Shrinks and constricts, reduces, shrinks the amount of flow of nutrients to that area. Take your athletes, for example. They get injured, they pack ice on it. What happens? Bruising normally means that you're swelling, and the swelling is an increase of nutrients to the area. You cut that off, and what happens? These athletes are constantly getting surgeries because they're scarring over. Because they're not cleaning out the dead cells, they're just forcing themselves to create scar tissue. It means putting bricks in the wall, dead cells to heal an area.
Because you hear hot, cold, cold, hot, cold, cold, cold.
You can do cold for 2 minutes, but you don't want to jump in ice unless you're a polar bear. Okay, do you have a question?
What are your thoughts about Alzheimer's and dementia?
Well, Alzheimer's, a lot of it comes from mercury. Also, it's been related to aluminum poisoning, both of those. I'm not sure that aluminum on its own will cause that because, according to Calgary University's research, the lesions that were created in neurons were only created with mercury, not when they applied aluminum and barium and other minerals. So I think that it is connected with aluminum because a lot of people are discharging aluminum or having a lot high aluminum levels from vaccines that have both mercury and aluminum. So I think that they're associating aluminum to dementia too often.
Also, there's very high amounts of aluminum that can take it. You have it under otherwise.
Yeah, but I haven't seen it confirmed by anybody. Calgary is the only one that I knew definitive research on that. If they could look at the lesions, the fractionation of the neurons only occurred in the company of mercury and not other minerals. So, aluminum does not create a neurological condition of degeneration. Now, it can't interfere with synapse transmission, but it doesn't cause neuronal decay like mercury does. So, dementia's probably mostly from mercury poisoning, and you have had a lot of that. And it takes a lot to get that out. Now, since I was forced, since I was subdued in that hotel room and injected with those 3 shots, my mercury level, aluminum levels are off the charts, same as vaccines, like flu vaccines. So that's obviously, to me, what they injected me with. Now, my hair is going very gray again. I've lost 6 teeth now since those injections. So, and I have berries with eggs and vinegar, pineapple almost every day to get rid of those poisons faster, and lots of cheese. So, remove that. You know, after those injections, my skin was exploding open. I mean, bursting open. And bruising and bleeding. You know, so it happened over my whole back. And it looks like I got hit by a grenade with shrapnel.
Is that eggs, berries, and what else did you say on vinegar?
Pineapple, vinegar, and berries. All of those chelate with those metal toxins.
To get out the vaccine?
And heavy metals.
What would be the formula? Everybody has a different amount of potato.
Well, it depends on the higher. If you have a higher level aluminum, you have more raspberry and strawberries. If you have more mercury, lead, and other dark metals, then the dark berries are preferable. Now, blueberries are very good, and they take it out smoothly. If you have blackberries, you're going to have a heavier detox. You may even have some dementia as detox some of that mercury with blackberries.
Those bigger berries or something like that?
Blackberries.
What about raspberries?
Like I said, raspberries are good for getting aluminum and iron.
So what portion of vinegar and things like that?
Well, it depends upon what you can take. It depends. When I'm making it, I'll make 3 cups to 4 cups a day, and I'll drink it throughout the day instead of a milkshake. I serve my other foods, but I don't drink that within, let's say, 45 minutes of a meat meal. And that is my food meal. I just spread that food meal throughout the day instead of having it at one time of the day. And I will have about 4 to 5 eggs in it, depending on the size of the eggs. Medium eggs will be 4. Small eggs will have 5 eggs. I'll have about a half a cup of cream. I'll have about 1 1/4 cup of berries. I use a mixture. I use raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries. And make sure I'm getting all. And then I'll use about 1 to 2 tablespoons of vinegar. Can't do the 2 tablespoons every day for, let's say, no more than 10 days. You're going to have to cut it down to 1 day, once a day, 1 tablespoon a day for maybe 5 days, and then you go back to 2 tablespoons for 10 days. And just rotate it like that. If you just have a lot of vinegar, you're going to stop digesting some of those foods.
So it depends on the person.
Stop absorbing.
Smaller people,
Unless you're very heavy set, you get it. And then I'll have about a tablespoon of honey in it, sometimes 2 tablespoons, if I'm having 4 cups. And I'll either have half a cup of milk or a half a cup of whey in that mixture. I'll drink that. I'll sip it throughout the day. I'll have like 2 ounces at a time, maybe every 20 minutes. And that's in between my cheese. If I'm doing a cheese every 20 minutes. Too much sun. Okay, you have a question, Dan?
Question about
You have to eat pineapple on a regular basis. Oh, and the pineapple in that, I use a thin slice that equals about a third of a cup, 3 ounces by volume of pineapple in that mixture, in that berry mixture. Pineapple and coconut cream is very helpful to help break down, but the body will never do it properly without hot baths. If you want to break down the lymphatic waste in the skin, it takes about 45 minutes at 105 degrees steady temperature, so a hot tub is very necessary.
What was the question? I couldn't.
She asked about relieving lymphatic congestion. If you want to get rid of lymphatic congestion, that means you want to get the lymphatic system clear of the congestion. That takes a 90-minute bath a day at about 105 degrees. And it's hard to do that. People have difficulty staying in a hot tub that long. So I say watch a movie and have a bowl of ice water right next to you with ice cubes floating in a washcloth. Set on top of your head. Stick your hand, your fist in there up to your wrist. For 2 minutes, you'll want to stay in the tub. It automatically cancels out wanting to get out of the tub. So that's the way you stay in. And some people, if they're very overweight, they get heat prostration quickly. They may have to do that every 10 to 15 minutes. But normally a person does it once every 20 minutes.
The massage pack is not as good.
Pardon?
The massage pack.
Massage won't really do anything for that. It'll cause a breakage in the lymphatic and make it worse. Unless true lymphatic massage for me is a tickle. So it electrically moves things. So you're tickling the, you know how sometimes you get tickled, and that's driving the electricity in the system in a blocked system. When you're ticklish or you're very sensitive to touch like that, that means your lymphatic system is blocked, the neurological system. And a lot of that energy is charged up under your skin. So taking hot baths, getting tickle massages helps relieve that. Yeah.
Now, in your book, you say 102, I think 102 to 106. Now you're saying 105, so is that changed? Or?
Yeah, I'm changing it. I just wanted to be safe. Originally, it was 110. That was a typo.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be 101. To start off slow. With the 110, so...
That's really tough, man. Get your feet in there and stand for about 10 minutes and then get your knees in.
Like I said, you take that cold water with you and you stick your fists all the way to your wrist in there and put a cold cloth on top of your head. You'll want to stay in it.
Ice pack is not as good. It's just an ice pack.
Ice pack is a little too cold.
Yeah, it's freezing.
The ice thing, and it really just doesn't have it. I mean, it's so awful.
No, if you're going to do that, you better put a towel up there.
Yeah.
At least double towel on top if you're going to use an ice pack.
Now, Aajonus, you say it's 105, but does that mean you're sitting in the tub? Because I've taken my temperature. If I'm sitting up, I can have it 105, and half of me's up, and I can take it. But at 102, I have to be, like, in the tub to get my, like, just my nose sticking out in my mouth, right? So when you say 105, do you mean
your body should be under it.
So your body temperature's got to be not near 105.
No, it won't be 105. Your body will always cool itself by 3 degrees.
I've had my body temperature almost, when I had the tub at 102, I've had my body temperature half a degree below that, 101 and a half.
Yeah, but once you go above 102, it won't elevate. Even if you're 105 degrees, the body's not going to get out of 102. Except under the skin. If you take your temperature under the arm, you're going to be almost as hot as the water. But if you stick it in your rectum or in your mouth, you're going to be about 102 at 105 degrees.
So what's the minimum body temperature you want it to be then? Like
I don't worry about body temperature. I worry about the 105 degrees. I've found consistently that
that's the best.
The body needs that.
Underwater, right?
Pardon?
Underwater.
The water has to be 105 degrees.
You can't do like sauna?
Sauna's a dry heat, and its minimum is 137 in one of those infrareds. Feels too hot. When you start destroying the enzymes in the membranes and damaging the cells at 110, 112 degrees. So you're damaging your mucous membranes by being in a sauna or a steam bath. Cannot go over 110 degrees. Because it will destroy the enzymes and vitamins in your skin.
How long do you leave the ice pack, the ice cream?
2 minutes.
No, I'm talking about out of the freezer. You take the ice pack, just you're talking about.
Yeah, you take cold water, you put ice cubes in it, leave it out. You leave it at the tub with you. As long as there are ice cubes in it, that water's going to stay cold. If the ice cubes melt, then it's not going to stay cold.
I've been having trouble finding a thermometer for the water. I don't know where to go. Tried everywhere.
Full thermometer is good.
What hardware store do we look at from you?
What is it called?
Pioneer.
I know, but what is the thermometer called?
I use a drugstore thermometer.
Swimming pool. Okay, do you have a question, Jill?
I'm hearing a lot of talk about arsenic. How do we get rid of it? How do we keep from taking more of it?
It's difficult because they're putting arsenic in all grains
Yeah.
because it makes the animals fat. They swell up and gain more weight because the body, arsenic is very toxic. So the body's gaining fat to protect itself from the arsenic poisoning. They also use it as a pesticide to keep moths and rodents out of the grain mills. Chickens that are fed commercial grains are going to have arsenic in it. So I stopped eating. Even Amos today, chicken. He does feed them a processed fish meal, which has arsenic in it.
What do we do about our babies now?
I said, in wintertime, I don't eat eggs or
Well,
chicken.
then, what do we...
I just eat only beef. I stopped eating fish because of Fukushima and radiation.
Even from Santa Monica Seafood?
Even from St. Marcus.
You said last time that...
That was before Fukushima.
No, that was the last project.
Well, I said you're going to get deep sea fish, certain ones are probably okay, but I don't even trust them now. Because the radiation level's getting higher every week.
What about Atlantic?
Doggy tuna?
What about Atlantic fish?
Atlanta, you've got the co-exit traveling up from the Gulf. Constantly seeking.
What about oysters are the only safe things to eat?
No, not even those. I won't eat any seafood. I will not eat any seafood unless I'm in the Philippines or Palawan or Vietnam or somewhere around there. Because the current from Fukushima comes east to America.
Anywhere
It hasn't gotten down in the Philippines
I
yet.
thought that the oysters have the hard shell, they're not going to go into that.
They absorb in the shell. The oysters will absorb it into the shell. Clams and mussels will absorb it into the meat and shell.
Well, then it's okay for me to get the blue point with oysters, isn't it?
I said, I don't know. That's the way it used to be. But I haven't tested any oysters since I've returned.
On what
You have to take the meat and test it with a Geiger counter and see if there's radioactive isotopes in the oyster meat.
So who eats the chicken in winter across the board in the whole United States?
I stopped eating when my Amish farmers are feeding the chickens commercial feed. That's the limit.
So then we have very little to eat, just beef in the morning and...
That's right.
and
Yeah. Dairy.
Or you make your own sprouts for your own chicken.
Pardon?
You can make your own sprouted food.
Wonderful. Your own chicken's wonderful. You're not feeding them arsenic. But anytime you buy a feed from anywhere, unless it's an organic farmer that doesn't store his feed, there's not going to be arsenic. There's going to be arsenic in it.
So buy a fresh instruction call, put it in carbon dioxide or something.
Yeah.
Carbon monoxide.
Well, I just put my grains. Like I grew about, what did I get? I got 210 90-pound bags of rice from my high-end property. Now, I feed that to my workers. It does not leave my property. What they do is they build a shit house. Literally, they take cow shit and mud And then make the walls that way, it keeps out the rats and everybody else. So it's really a shit house. And so, they got grass on there, and then they coat it like you do plaster. And they plaster with cow shit and mud.
When is the winter starting for the
Yeah, absolutely.
When is the winter starting for the Amos farm?
He starts feeding them somewhere around mid-late December. And then I don't eat anything until May. No eggs or chicken. Unless they promise me to not. They cut their own food, they have to put arsenic in, and they're not buying from any store. They buy it from a local farmer who hasn't put it on the market, and he's organic, great. From what I understand, they're all using the commercial feed for the chickens now in the winter.
That's just 4 months.
Yeah, that's 4 months of that. And then June I start eating
To
them.
May, and then
June through December.
yes, in December.
June through December.
We should start getting more chicken out.
And you get on Amos's and Eli's case and you say, hey, grow your own stuff, get it from somewhere else. Don't
Otherwise,
get
we're going to
commercial.
stop buying it. We'll stop buying it.
Yeah, and then they lose a lot of money in the winter.
So
Okay,
you can't
good.
make that drink. You can't make that drink because it makes that berry drink which you get for vaccination.
Sure, that'll help, but you got other toxins to deal with. Arsenic is not easy. Arsenic is a very dangerous poison. It causes heart attacks, it causes liver failure, it causes all kinds of problems. Arsenic is a very dangerous substance.
So if you get organic grain, you're going to have arsenic in it too.
Good. If you buy commercial, you have to test it. Mine doesn't, of course, but I don't sell mine. I give mine to my workers and my cows and horses.
You could go to somebody who grows grain and say, look, I want your seeds before you do it.
Absolutely, yeah. And, if I were going to eat rice, which I don't, I would store it in big gallon jars. Glass. Moths can't breathe in there. There's no oxygen for them. And, so you fill it, pack it, and keep it. No rats. Well, let me put it this way. When I was in the desert, I had a jar of nuts and seeds. The wild rats actually unscrewed the jar. So I had to put lock caps on them. Literally. They do consider the rat the smartest animal next to humans. I think they're smarter than humans. Rats don't kill for profit and poison each other for profit. John?
Okay, so a full muscle in the shoulder. Anything other than hot water bottle, lubrication formula, any of
Yeah, when you pull muscle, that means you've torn, you have lesions in it, you've torn the muscle. Then you do like boxers, you put raw meat on it, and a hot water bottle. Also, it's a good idea. Pardon?
Hot water bottle and meat at the same time?
Yes. Put meat on, then a hot water bottle. But it's better to put just a little bit of honey and butter mixture on the meat, just a thin layer, and then butter on the one side with oil, a damp cloth over that, cotton or silk, and then a piece of plastic over that, and then an ace bandage over that, so it doesn't dry out. That way you can keep using the same piece of meat for 2 to 3 days until it stinks. I will use it beyond stinking. I don't give a shit. It's even fresh, because it will heal much faster than with decaying meat. So I will just use it until I can't take it. If I can't sleep, then I don't use it. And then I'll change the meat. And that usually, if you'll do that, usually a torn muscle will heal in about 12 days. Tendon still take about 6 weeks, when normally takes a year and a half.
Anything internal?
Pineapple's helpful to get rid of the torn tissue. Not a lot of pineapple, but a little. If you have a little bit all day long, like in a mixture, like I said, with the berries, only just have a pineapple shake and just sip it throughout the day. It'll heal a little bit faster. Because the bromelain in the pineapple will help break down the dead cells that were bruised and damaged and torn. Do you have a question?
When I was very young, I had a life-threatening case of pneumonia, and to save my life, they shot me full of antibiotics. So after I've had serious killer migraine. Ever since that pneumonia antibiotic hit me.
Well, nobody has a deadly pneumonia. You just get very sick. But pharmaceutical industry, medical industry are terrorists. So they'll get you to take anything that they believe. And they're taught to be that stupid. They don't observe. They're just taught to panic and react. They're not taught to experiment and observe. They're not allowed to experiment. That's against the law. The laws of the AMA, you follow the pharmaceutical industry's advice. They write all the procedure manuals. If you don't follow the pharmaceutical industry's advice, you are breaking the AMA law. So they get punished. So they follow what they're told, and they're told to be terrorists. So what happens when you take an antibiotic for 5 days? You lose 1% of all bodily functions. The body is 99.99% bacteria. Antibiotics destroy all bacteria. In a 5-day cycle, you lose 1% of the body's abilities. Every 5 days, you take off a whole percent. To recover on a good diet, it takes about 2 years to recover 1%. 2 years. If you do this optimal diet of mine and eat high meat, you can get over it quicker. The bowel is the area that feeds the brain and nervous system. It feeds the brain and nervous system. So your body, the bacteria in your colon has never recovered. And the only way you can get to recover is to implant high meat juice into your rectum and then massage it in and let it distribute in there, or eat lots of high meat, like probably a pound a day for 3 months. And then they'll probably be all destroyed within another 5 months, and you have to do it for 3 months again. If you implant it, in your rectum, and you massage, you do your belly roll to make it move into your system, up into the whole colon, that one implant of about 3 ounces of that high meat juice could keep you going for 3 months, just one time.
Can you swallow the heavy instead of chew it?
Yeah. High meat's pre-digested. You don't have to chew it.
What kind of jars is it best to put it in?
Glass.
No, I know, on the glass, but what size jars?
Depends on how much you want to make and how much you intend to eat.
Now, don't fill it to the top.
No, only half full all of it.
Half full.
You need air space in there. You need both anaerobic and aerobic bacteria.
I just read that we actually have bacterial DNA in our DNA, which our nearest relative animal life don't have. Like we have something unique.
Well, a lot of us don't have it anymore because of vaccines.
Don't have what?
This particular DNA that other animals don't have. Pig has almost identical to what we have.
Which is plastic or whatever.
Yeah.
So what does antibiotics have to do with the migraine?
The brain and nervous system are fed in the colon. From the colon. Her colon bacteria was wiped out. So the brain is not getting the food it needs, so it swells. The brain is constantly swollen because it's trying to get all the nutrients, and it can never get all the amino acids because she's not digesting properly. that causes constant brain swelling. I'm sorry I didn't explain that. I'm glad you asked. You didn't understand until I said that too, right? Probably nobody.
Kind of.
Sometimes they think
It's just totally
logical
real.
conclusion.
Brain swelling is totally real to me. Yeah.
Is there any other way you can treat the brain swelling? Any additional way?
Only way you can do is feed the nervous system properly, and that's by eating high meat if you don't digest properly in the colon. See, all that food is digested, feeds every part of the body in the small intestines. Once it gets into the colon, you're getting to the finite particle breakdown. It feeds the brain and nervous system, the neuron cells and the neurological cells. So that is a whole process in itself. That's a very short track. That large, very long, small intestine feeds everything else in the body. That colon is strictly for the nervous system and brain. If it is not operating, people are going to have migraines, they're going to have autism, they're going to have all kinds of problems. And it may be unrelated to mercury at all, because the brain is just a vision, depending on what kind of antibiotics they have. Tetracycline was a bad one. I mean, it caused so much ADD, it was amazing. Yeah. Great. Yeah, I knew that you either had lots of tetracycline or cocaine. One or the other.
Actually, they told my mom that was when she took tetracycline when I was still inside her.
Oh, no.
What is that, an antibiotic?
Yes, antibiotic. That was a big 60s, came out in the 60s. Big all through the 70s, early 80s. Pardon?
That was in the 50s.
That was, they were just beginning to use it in major cities.
Yeah, but
Yes.
they were in the military, so.
Oh, yeah, they were good to go. Military became big. First thing.
How do you make high meat juice?
Pardon?
How do you make high meat juice?
You let it go long enough, and you leave it out. When it starts juicing at the bottom, it turns into black juice. That's your completely digested. Completely, absolutely digestible. 1 teaspoon of that can make you as happy as a
Wow.
Can you put any like garlic or something?
as a plain.
No, can you put anything in it like garlic or something to make it taste better?
If you do, well, you put it in milk. You know, it's just better to drink it and wash it down with
Like
milk.
an ounce of milk, a teaspoon and an ounce of milk.
Yeah, you can do that, or just take a teaspoon and wash it down with milk.
You just leave it out for 2 days.
If you leave it in your mouth, some of that's going to go right to the brain immediately. And you get happy.
Do you really like
You
immediately?
get happy. If you leave it in your mouth for 2 minutes, you're going to get silly. Silly happy. You're silly happy.
Do you have any of that juice available if you could like selfless and
How long does it take?
I would be in jail. I guarantee you.
could you give it to me?
I would still be.
How long does it take to make? How many days?
Well, if you leave it out of room temperature and you're exposing it to some light, not direct light, and you're opening it and, the meat's not dry, it will start breaking down pretty quickly. But it takes a while, maybe 6 weeks.
6 weeks to make
For
it.
what, the
For it
juice?
to start to become juice.
Yeah, and it starts producing
Just
juice.
open it up and close it in the house?
No, you want to take it outside. But you don't want to open it as often, even though it's outside, even though it's outside of the refrigerator. You still want to open it, but every 3-4 days. You want more anaerobic bacteria rather than aerobic bacteria.
Open it, yeah, every 3-4 days.
Okay, do you have a question? Rosanna?
Yes, Aajonus, you said that the lymphatic system detoxes the skin. And like people who get have kidney stones and the stones are released in the urine. My question is it possible that you can get like little stones or crystals through the skin where when the lymphatic system is detoxing and have these baths and everything, can it come through the skin?
No, your body will melt it.
It will melt it?
Will melt them. That's the point. You don't have to have it. It melt it. To get it into a liquid so you can pass it through the skin, you can't pass those through the skin. When you have kidney stones and kidney crystals or kidney sand, your body still has to dissolve that, or else you're going to have a lot of pain as you pass it.
But and the skin can't release those stones like...
If the lymphatic system is moving.
If it's moving, it will through the skin. Wow.
Most of those toxic crystallized minerals will leave through the skin.
Look how fun it is.
I said saunas are not good because it's too hot. Do you have a question?
Well, since we've been getting so many chemtrails lately, I was just wondering, any date on that, or what is the best thing to eat?
Well, like I said in the newsletter, you just follow the, you eat the berries, eat more raspberries, because they're dumping more aluminum than anything else. And if you understand the chemistry of aluminum causes 5 times more charge of an explosion. Most of your gunpowder, they add 25% aluminum to make it 5 times more powerful to explode. They use aluminum in everything, every munition, to make the explosion greater, the damage greater. So they're filling us with aluminum, injecting us with vaccines, and bombarding with us. Now, the technology, when I thought I worked with General Electric, was an inventor. He worked with turning salt into an explosive, which they could not do. This was General Electric paid to do this. The saltless sodium, when it's isolated, is more volatile than nitroglycerin. 1.5 degree change sets it off. They could not kill it. Couldn't make it a weapon, so it's still not a weapon. But they still use aluminum that way as an explosive enhancer. So, heart was another thing, using energy levels to change the structure of things. They can set heart to make you explode inside wherever there's aluminum. So now you know why they're bombarding us with mostly aluminum from the air. You're inhaling all that. It starts combining with salt, and let's say some other minerals like iodine. What's going to happen if they direct a charge from heart on you? You're going to explode. Parts in your body are just going to explode. You're going to bleed to death inside. You're going to have heart attacks. You're going to have liver failure. You're going to have aneurysms. People are going to start dropping dead if they do that. So they're planning on your death. They say it's all weather modification. It's been proven that even though it's seeding storms, you have less storms from seeding. It just makes it harder and harder to seed to get a rainstorm.
You notice that the rain has been, some areas will get rain and others will not, because it was all occurring.
Yeah.
You can just look up at the sky. We have to get somebody in the top military office.
Military's behind it.
Where we stand, I mean, I've been putting out
You just
flyers.
have to take care of yourself the best you can.
But you're handing out and protesting is
No,
not.
you have to take care of your body the best you can. That's all you can really do.
Protesting isn't going to do nothing, shit.
That's not the way I see it. As long as we have Obama and everybody else in office, no matter who gets it in office,
What
those
about
jerks
Gary
will-
Johnson, the libertarian?
He's not going to get there. Ron Paul's the only promise we had. He's not going to make it. They won't let him.
If you're outside and you see chemtrails,
I don't go outside.
come inside.
I just go inside. If I go outside, I wear my Israeli gas mask.
I just have that organic cotton mask. I can't wear that heavy thing on my face.
No, well, I do. I use that heavy thing. I got pulled over because I had terror. When I was crossing the border from Mexico to here, I had it in my trunk. They pulled me over and searched everything. Because I have a gas mask. So why do you have a gas mask? You're a terrorist? I said, you know the spills on the highways in California? All you have to use exposure once, and, you know, you're incapacitated for your life. So if there's an accident, I'm protected. I go out to my trunk, put that on, and I'm protected. I said, why do you use gas masks? Are you a terrorist? That's the mentality of these people.
Most people believe a million-man march.
Millions not going to do it. People are going to have to revolt. People are going to have to shut down the planes that are taking off. There's going to have to be some way to stop it. And the only way to stop it is know where those planes are coming from and stop them.
What about that Mike Murphy's film? He just made the second one.
He's making awareness,
Yeah.
but nobody's stopping. Nobody's stopping it.
I mean, the guys that know about the military, they can see that people know the film. They should know that we know about what they're doing.
Military knows.
They know it's nothing we can do to stop it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. But even if they do, they would follow no orders.
Well, what are we gonna? We have to stand out on the street and get the news media.
And ordinary planes are not allowed to fly like this, crisscross the sky. They have to follow the transportation corridors assigned to them.
Yeah, but see, when you lay a seating like that, the exhaust from those planes magnifies because they add the water to that chem. So they make the chemtrails stay longer.
Is that why the water vapor is staying longer too? Because of the chemtrails?
Because it's mixing with the chemtrails. So now they don't dissolve. So now the contrails won't disappear.
Oh, that makes sense.
We can have a
Contrails won't need now. No contrails enhance it.
Well, the contrails are staying longer.
See, the contrails, if there's no seeding, contrails will disappear. If they're seeding, the moisture from the plane stays in the chemicals in the seeding.
Well, wait a minute. What about you said we can go to the LA County Board of Supervisors and have a hearing there? But I don't think that would do anything, would it?
Well, they have to get on the military to stop
Yeah.
bombarding us.
That's
You know,
what they
they'll
do.
say, oh, well, we bombard up in, because they bombard in Ventura and over me in Malibu. And then it drifts, most of it drifts over here. They don't really streak this area too much.
Not anymore.
They do it in Malibu and Ventura and then let it drift over down.
They're also doing it out over the ocean.
They call it camp bombing. That's what I learned at the conference.
Anyway,
Well, that's saying it proves it's the military doing it because the commercial plane couldn't fly in those directions. They're not allowed. Only the military is allowed to fly in those odd.
yeah, but we even have the contrails that add to those patterns.
Well, the commercial plane.
Yes.
I get it.
Commercial planes add to the military.
Is there any safer place to live, or is it just everywhere? I mean, it's mostly in Europe and in the United States.
It's all over the world except for certain islands in the Philippines. It's the only place I have not found them. In fact, even in Puerto Princesa on Palawan, they're bombing there. But where my property is in Palawan, there's no bombing.
Wow. Because it's too small.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost 2% of the island populace.
They
don't give a
that
shit.
goes there.
Does it shift over you anyway?
Tourists.
It doesn't drift. You know, because the wind. Sometimes the rain clouds will move over. And I think the mountain where it rains every day. Every day it rains.
Have you tested your water test for not doing
I know a place
I
locally.
have my wells tested. I want
No.
third tested.
So we all need to move to this island.
I have some people that are already there. Building their own farms.
Hey,
But it's a lot more expensive than here. It's almost double what it is here.
Yeah, but if it's
Yep, it's worth it. It's worth it. Yeah, very clean food. And the other place in my farm there, I get bombarded all the time. But I'm right at the foot of a mountain, so I've got the clouds from the mountains protecting me from their chemtrails. And so far, it hasn't contaminated my water. Going my land.
Hey, Aajonus, you said to use your, what's in the newsletter for the chemtrails? If we do that, is that sufficient if they harp us to be immune to that?
Well, you just got to get a lot of the aluminum out. And I would say you've gotten a lot of aluminum out because you're gray. Nothing causes more gray in the body. It destroys the pyramidine of benzoic acid, which regulates pigmentation of skin and hair. So when aluminum gets into the molecule, the palette can no longer be utilized for pigmentation, so the hair will go gray from aluminum. So if you're gray, you're discharging a lot of aluminum. Like when I was discharging, having all this was gray at one time, this was all gray, keeps going in and out. Whenever I'm detoxing aluminum more than anything else, my hair goes more gray.
So if I'm going more gray,
You're discharging more aluminum.
I have a lot of
So you're lowering your enhancement of explosions.
Yeah, but Lewis is black, but I'm sure he's healthier than me because he's been on the diet a lot longer than me. He's probably already gotten the aluminum out, right?
Not necessarily.
The body is...
You have a hair test and you'll see. But the hair test won't really do it unless this hair is gray, you're going to see a high aluminum content. If it's not gray, you may not see a high aluminum content. You'd have to check the blood or the urine to see what the content of the fluid system is, to see if you have a high aluminum.
But I'm sure I still have tons of aluminum inside me.
You could, yeah.
So what I'm trying to get at is people on the diet, or if we're just on the diet, and if we're following what you said in the newsletter to do because of chemtrails, if
You're
they...
trying to reduce the possibility of your dying.
But we won't be completely immune to it. We'll just be a
You
reduction.
might have quite a few spots in your body that explode, like on my leg.
Yeah.
So,
But we'll survive it, maybe.
yeah. You can recover.
We'll be able to recover. We won't croak.
Other people are not going to recover. They're going to run to the doctor and get injections of poisons.
you didn't come soon enough.
I've been here a long time. You didn't wake up soon enough.
No, I mean, that's what they say at the hospital.
Oh,
Yeah.
you didn't come soon enough, yes.
So you're right, I didn't wake up soon enough.
iodine, like, okay, don't use salt, because that adds to the explosions. But you mentioned iodine.
No, I
that
said
was that-
salt is an explosive.
Right.
Once the body isolates the iodine from the sodium, and sodium is concentrated as an explosive.
So it's not that you can't eat fish or seaweed or something.
If you would cook the seaweed, yes.
Yeah, don't cook it.
Of course.
If I'm having my car topper out, that's not going to do anything. Just make about the chemtrails, that won't change anything.
What?
My car topper about chemtrails, that won't change anything.
No, was raising awareness.
Yeah.
Sign about chemtrails.
Well, you're going to make more people aware, and you probably will get it stopped sooner or later. But it's not going to be for a while. Yes, Lucky.
Well, let me get this straight.
First of all, let's thank Lucky. We have everything spick and span, so he doesn't have to do it.
Yeah.
Let me see if I get this straight. We got being poisoned from the sky. We've got hidden GMOs in our food, and we got Fukushima coming along with China coal dust.
Get out of the dust.
I think just have more sex, more drugs, and eat.
Die.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way of getting away from it.
Yeah, you can move away.
Parts of it in this chemtrails are there. They're everywhere. The GMOs are hidden in all the food. So there really is, and you say these things that you say you go out, you don't go outside. What difference does it make if you don't go outside? The cows you're eating and drinking from are.
Yeah, but I can reduce the load.
Yeah, you can help.
And most of your raw animals can discharge a lot of it.
What's life like not going outside? I mean, how can you go far, take a ferry, or ride your bicycle, or take a hike, or do yoga, if you don't go outside? You didn't do that inside.
Do it at nighttime. Particles are very charged with the sunlight.
At night.
Pardon?
Fukushima radiation doesn't go away at night.
No, but I'm saying chemtrails can reduce that. Well, you have to understand that even isotope particles are charged higher during sunlight.
So you don't
More likely to rip you to pieces if one gets inside you.
So you don't sunbathe anymore.
Not here. I will get a massage outside when I get a massage, once every week or once every 2 weeks. I will do it in the sun if there's no chemtrails. Chemtrails, I won't do it after the sun.
Well, they hide chemtrails. You can't always tell there's chemtrails. They look like
I know the coloration of chemtrails I can always tell. There's a rainbow type in its fate areas. There's a rainbow type sheen to it. I can always tell chemtrails.
But with GMOs that they've got it out now, we're going to have it on the ballot, but we need to get something like this.
Do you know how many people, how many companies are exempted from having the label? Tremendous amount. It's a step in the right direction.
Right.
But we won't be protected from it. It's a start.
It's just really to start getting people aware of it.
Yeah. It's a start. Everybody vote for 37. Absolutely. Even though it's not perfect, it's a step in the right direction.
Yes on 37?
Yes on 37, absolutely.
So what about 32?
That's political.
My question,
Yes.
I was out of town for a while, whatever, anyway, I got bison liver that's still in the plastic, and it's been in the fridge in the plastic for about a month. And it seems like it's kind of breaking down. I was going to throw it out. But, so I
Open it, pour out the stuff, and scrape off the outside.
pour off the juice.
Pour off the blood.
Yeah.
And then take a knife, or a flat knife, scrape out the surface. Make sure you have the plastic off of the liver. Eat it.
Okay. So it isn't progressing any towards being high or anything, right?
Not, you don't want to progress it in plastic, because you're going to get phthalates in it.
All right. But then again, separately, I have a bison heart that's been sitting in the fridge probably for 2 months. I ate a lot of it, but then I got tired of it. Can I can like slice that up and take it out of the fridge and make it high?
Glass or plastic?
Glass.
Okay, good.
Yep. So I can take it out of the fridge, make it high meat,
Yeah.
out of the fridge.
Cut it up into smaller pieces.
Yeah. But then after it's sat out for a week or something like that, can I then put it back in the fridge and treat it like regular high meat? Or is it destined to be out of the
No,
fridge?
once it's suggested, it's suggested. But putting it back in the refrigerator isn't going to cause it not to be digested all of a sudden. You can't reverse the digestive process. Only inside a creature's body can you reignite it into something bioactive.
So I can start eating this as high meat like a week or so after bringing
And
it
if you
out.
want really, really high meat, really fast, pate. And then spread it out a little bit, move it out, do a little airspace on it, and then let that break down. You can even put a little, mist it with a little milk.
I always like liver pate. I always like liver pate,
Yeah.
but I don't know. This might be a little strong. Anyway.
Yeah, but once you already make it, you can blend it with milk. Still feed you.
Okay. So you can have high meat with milk and it
Yes.
doesn't. Okay.
As
But you
long as
can't
the milk
do it.
isn't cold. Can't be cold milk.
You couldn't do that like the liver formula with that huge percent, 50% meat and 50% milk.
Yeah, you can do that.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Just
still,
refrigerate it. Don't blend it with cold milk.
okay, but it still gives you the results of high meat.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Just remember, that high meat is when the protein's completely digested in the meat, just the way you would do in the colon. That's why people get high in 10 to 20 minutes of eating high meat, because it's already pretty digested. It gets right into the blood, right to the brain and nervous system.
This is a straight, really, really strong super, like it was totally fermented, but like 2 seconds after I drank it, I was just like, it was all digested.
But didn't you, at some place, warn us not to have a lot of milk with the meat meal?
Well, you don't want to have a lot of milk with a meat meal that isn't pre-digested. It will prevent meat from being digested because your body's going to work on the milk more than the meat.
So high meat is exempt from that.
Different, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do an enema with high meat, not just something.
That's what they said. Yep.
I mean, like a lot, like a quart.
You can do that.
Even with chunks?
Yeah, you'd be pretty high.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, you'd probably be a good athlete if you did that. Phenomenal athlete.
What?
Your body would have such coordination.
With what?
If you did an implant of a quart of high meat in your bowel. He's a bigger guy than you. So you did it with a cup and a half. He'd have to use, a quart. Pardon?
Before you go dancing, you're able to dance all night.
Yeah.
By yourself.
I did it one time. I didn't sleep for 3 days and didn't get sleepier times.
Wow.
And I had sex 5 times a day. Those 3 days. One time at his place in 2000, it was December 1999, I think it was, right before Y2K, and we butchered a deer. And we took all the glands and the brains and we blended them together. I was dead tired because I'd done a workshop and seen patients for 2 days. And I had to go pick up my girlfriend at the airport in Reno, Nevada. And they lived in Nevada City, California. So I had to go from...
It's about a 2-hour drive.
Yeah, about 2 hours, but well, about 2.5 at night. And so I had to drive, and I didn't have any sleep. I didn't have my normal nap because he shot the deer. So I had to butcher it, so I didn't get my nap in. So we ate those glands and put them all in this big, blender. Yeah, and we ate it. I had so much energy. When Lori got off the plane, we had nothing but sex for 5 hours. And I still couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep.
So you made a shake out of all these glands?
All the glands.
You just drank it?
Yes.
The eyeballs, the brain?
Everything. Everything.
Oh, yeah.
You like French out?
What?
Yeah.
You love it?
But I like the liver plain. I don't like the plain. I like it. I just want it fresh.
Yeah.
I know you like plain. But so when it's warm, it's right out fresh.
Liver is almost all protein, so it's hard to digest for most people. You need a lot of fat to break it down. That's why I like it blended. Pate. In fact, if you want to digest better and sleep less and have more energy, pate all your meats. I eat everything pate. I don't eat any whole meat anymore. I sleep 3-4 hours a day, and that's it. I'm productive the rest of the day.
How do you think?
So when I eat whole meat in pieces, I will sleep 5 hours, 5.5 hours.
Pate with butter?
Pardon?
Pate with butter, or what do you put in?
No, I pate it by itself, and I add butter as I'm eating it.
You have to get one of those grinders.
No, I use a food processor. I take the meat and I cut it up into little, inch by inch cubes.
Pasteurizer blender will do it.
You said you got the...
You will listen. Okay, I take the meat and I cut it into inch cubes. Then I put it in the food processor. Fill it about halfway, and then I keep blending that in the food processor until it's pate. Takes about a minute. Only a minute.
What is it?
And then you put butter in it?
Blender, the pasteurizer.
Food processor. It's like a Cuisinart.
Did you put butter in it, you say?
No, I put butter, as I'm eating, I put butter with
Okay,
it.
you eat it with butter.
Yes.
What about the red onion?
Well, that sauce I have with the meat, I eat a sauce with my meat.
Okay.
So it has onion, I have, dill. It has all that. Did you have mine up there? Did you like that?
I might have missed that.
Well, it was. I remember reading left.
This
Which
one,
one was it?
the one with the brown sauce on top.
Here it is. Taste the lick of the sauce.
Is that pate,
Yeah, there you go.
Is that pate?
Oh, that's cheese in it too, right?
No,
No.
that doesn't have cheese in it. What that is it has a lot of dill. It has bay. It has a little basil. Tomato is the main ingredient, and onion and garlic.
Ooh, wonderful. And it makes it.
Yeah. But it's mostly dill. There's a lot of dill. Probably about 20 sprigs of dill.
Ooh, I can taste it now. Good.
And did you say you put butter?
Pardon?
Butter?
Oh, I forgot.
I forgot to ask you about epilepsy. Do you know anything about that?
That's relieved with the moisturizing lubrication formula, having 2 daily until it subsides, and then having 1 daily until the rest of their life. Unless it's a child, they can get over it in about 20 years, but an adult will never get over it unless they're constantly fed the butter.
Me? Yeah, I'm still stuck a little bit on the bass because I did a whole lot this last summer, and exactly what you were saying. Like, but the hotter it was, the quicker I had to get out. Like sometimes I couldn't take it after a half hour, and the more I did, I kind of thought I would get used to it. But no, I kind of like would hit a wall, and I couldn't do it for 2-3 days.
You have a lot of metals in the body.
Yeah.
Radioactive material. So you need that cold bowl.
Stick the hands in there?
Yeah, up to here. Put this in there. Not tight because you want the water to get in to your palms, but just up to here. 2 minutes. And then a cold cloth, and you have 2 minutes, you're going to want to do nothing but stay in that water.
Now when I do that, am I still in the tub?
Yes.
Okay, so like, but I have to get out a little bit. I sit up.
You'll sit up a little bit. Yeah, for 3 minutes.
Okay, and then do that.
Yeah.
And then go back in the tub, and the tub's got to be 105.
Yeah.
And I lay down so only my face is sticking out.
Well, I take it down to like, I get down to like this. So, only my nose is breathing, but out of the water it's going like this.
Okay.
And of course, I cross my legs like this.
Yeah, and your knees are sticking out.
Partially the knees just a little bit.
Yeah.
Mostly I can get the knees
Yeah,
down.
my stomach sticks out too.
But you want to put your head in there, yeah.
Like I say, I get very smart.
Well, there goes my entertainment. My head almost
Well, you don't need goggles, you just put the snorkel. That's okay.
It goes in there.
Huh?
It goes in. It goes out.
Yeah.
Now, what I can't compute with is, because what you said, it doesn't matter what your body temperature was, because you always said that you have to get your body hot enough to melt the hardened.
I mean, 102 degrees.
So 102 is when that stuff starts to melt. So if my body temperature actually only goes to 101, is it a waste of time?
No, because still under your skin, you're getting warmer. You just take your temperature under your armpit, and you'll see how hot your skin is getting.
So it'll be different than the mouth.
But your blood may not get that hot. So your blood is going to tell you what temperature, your mouth temperature, your rectal temperature will tell you how hot your blood is getting.
Yeah. Well, the hottest I ever got it was 101.5. And I don't know if the thermometer is totally accurate because it was 98.3 when I got in, so maybe it's a little bit off. So, okay, so 102 is what the body temperature would need to be. Okay.
And if your blood is 101.5, you can better believe that your lymphatic system is 103.
Oh, really? How do you measure the lymphatic system? Like,
No, you
you
can't.
can't?
You can cut a hole, stick it.
Oh, okay. So be hotter than your blood? The
Oh,
lymphatic?
yes. Your blood has a cooling system. Your lymphatic system doesn't have a cooling system.
Oh, yeah, because my heart pounds and I'm breathing deep, and that's part of the cooling. Oh, okay.
And you also have esters that cause like antifreeze, which causes the lowering of the blood temperature.
Oh.
Because you'll sterilize your blood at 105 degrees.
Okay, so the blood would be 102, and then your lymph will be about 105? 104. So the minimum lymph temperature you want is 104?
No, 102.
102 is the minimum lymph temperature. Oh, okay.
That's why if you're at 105 degrees for 90 minutes, that lymph system's going to reach 102, 103.
Oh, hey, I got it backwards then. I thought the lymph was hotter than the blood.
It is. So if your blood temperature, if the water temperature is 105 and you're staying in it for 90 minutes, the lymph system is going to reach 102, 103.
But when the water's 105, your blood's going to be how much? 102, you said?
Probably 101.5, 101.7.
But when I had the hot water in the tub, 102, I got to 102 with my taking it.
You have a lot of metals in your blood.
Oh, okay. So I just need to keep doing those baths then.
And using cooling packs to help your blood cool, so your blood doesn't get too hot.
And what about lymphatic massage? Can you go over like where you massage up to?
Remember I said tickle therapy is the only lymphatic massage you can do anywhere on your body.
I know, but the direction you go. Here up towards the
Does
heart,
not
there
matter.
down.
It's an electrical impulse. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Any place you should avoid going toward? Well, the lymph goes down. It don't go
Lymph goes everywhere, just like the blood and neurological system is every tissue of the body. Unless it's blocked, of course, into a particular area.
You had me exercising before you got after the lymph test. That's so
I asked
we
people
all
to
tried
do that for a long time, but when I started asking them to do 90 minutes, not necessary. 90 minutes. If you're only doing 45 minutes to an hour, it's a good idea to walk or exercise. But if you're doing 90 minutes, you don't have to exercise.
So that would be a good answer for insomnia too, because you get pretty wiped out after all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe twice.
I tell everybody to do it once a day. Every day.
Just after an hour and a half of the hot bath that I had, like you say, I actually had some like tiny crystals, 3 of them, on my foot.
Congratulations.
I mean, I saw them and I thought, what is this? Because I took a towel and floor like this, and on the left foot right there on the side, right here, and I was rubbing it with my hand, but the skin gets really porous because of the hot water, right? And I rubbed it, and I got like little 3 tiny little crystals. And before that bath, when I would like step on my foot, it would like hurt, like there was something that the skin was hitting against that would make it smart. After the bath, the crystals came out, and then I would step on my foot, and there was no pain. There was like no obstacle there. There was none of this going on when I pressed on it.
Is that right here?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the bursa.
What did I feel?
Bursa is a little sac.
Yeah.
The body creates fluid to lubricate the joints.
Yeah.
And bursitis is very, very painful. I had it.
Yeah.
And it's like every time I'd step on the
It's
under this
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
I'd get excruciating pain. I wouldn't be able to move for 5-10 minutes.
Exactly. And when
And it's a crystal. There are crystals that stab.
Exactly, and they came out. That's what I'm telling you, they came out. I was like, wow.
That's the whole point.
I thought they was
You have plastic crystals and they're stabbing your bursa.
Wow. So are they anywhere else except in the bursa?
They can be everywhere. But the most painful is in the joints and in the bursa.
So how do you keep that from getting confused with gout? I mean, that's some
It's part of gout.
Huh?
It's part of gout.
What is part of it?
What time is it? Oh, we've got Michael.
Question is, which is better to get bottled water without, which is better to get bottled water without fluoride, or with fluoride in glass, like the Gerolsteiner there that has fluoride in it?
But it's not added fluoride.
No, it's not added, but like Mountain Valley 0.34, you can get in glass. But the best would be the Crystal Glacier. It has no fluoride, it's in plastic.
I would go for the natural fluoride before I would go for plastic. You have the phthalates that leak into it, PBAs. If you're eating properly and not drinking much water, you're not going to absorb that fluoride.
How about reverse osmosis?
Reverse osmosis destroys all bacteria, so it works to remove the contamination, but not necessarily industrial chemicals.
So, take out all the
Not all industrial chemicals will take out every mineral.
What's the question? I'm catching the question.
Whether it's better to drink bottled water.
What is he asking?
It was about water. He wanted to know if it's better to have a water that has no fluoride in it, even though it's an organic mineral fluoride from the earth and not an industrial fluoride contaminating the water, but like Gerolsteiner, like almost all of your waters have some natural fluoride in it to trace them out. I mean, you can lessen the trace. It's hardly able to detect it, but they can detect it, depending upon if you're using a particular kind of measuring oscilloscope. There's a water that, like a glacier, melting of ice and snow, has no fluoride in it, this particular brand, but they bottle it in plastic. And he asked me, is it preferable to have the plastic bottled water or the natural with a small amount of fluoride? I said the natural with a small amount of fluoride, rather than having the PBAs and the phthalates leaching through your water. If you're not drinking much water anyway, you're not drinking much water.
Do you think Gerolsteiner is okay? Because I've seen them label the water differently. Sometimes they say naturally sparkling water, and sometimes they say sparkling natural water, implying that it isn't carbonation added.
Well, all the carbonation is always added. All of them are added. In a well, you've got the water table and you've got the gas table. The water and the gas are never together. They inject them at the same time. Is it the natural gas? Then it's naturally carbonated. If it isn't, then you've got like Coca-Cola and all those beverage companies and Calistoga water, which uses a chemically produced carbon dioxide. It's not a naturally produced carbon dioxide. Very toxic.
She's saying it's changed. Is it okay to change over?
Theirs is always similar. They've got more gas in their well than any other on the planet. But they sell the gas to Perrier. The Perrier has lost almost all of its gas in its wells. So, however, they've changed the levels because somebody doesn't know what they're talking about in the labeling department.
Before you have one now.
Somebody else who didn't have a question.
My only question is,
You have a question first.
is my signature evidence? I just want to the co-ops since I'm sort of lost touch.
Okay, there's Raw Healthy Foods. Marilyn is the head of that one. And then there's the Dairy Fairy, which is utterlyla.com. UDDERLYLA.com. Utterly LA.
Is that local?
That's local. They deliver at the 76 on at Pacific Avenue on Lincoln every Saturday. But you have to get there by 9 o'clock. You have to go between 7 and 9 in the morning. And they do not wait more than 10 minutes. If you're not there by 9:10, that truck's gone. with your food.
If they do it
You have to order by Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. If you order by Monday morning, you have to pay a $20 surcharge. In the first week, I ordered on Monday morning because that was the first time I realized that they were still getting Amos's product. So I paid the $20 the first time. If you order by 8 o'clock on Sunday morning, you get delivered on Saturday. Eli requires 9 days. Right? 9, 10 days.
Would you rather prefer Amos over Eli?
I like, in the summertime, I like Amos's because it's creamier. Everything's got a lot more fat in it. Its milk's creamier. If I drink Eli's stuff in late spring and summer and fall, early fall, I drink another gallon. With Amos's, I drink 4.5 gallons a week.
Do you drink more with or less with the cream?
I eat less with more cream.
Which is better?
Well, the reason my body's starving for the cream.
What is that?
My body's starving for the cream.
The cream. Well, you could buy the extra cream.
The taste different.
autograph? Book autograph?
Oh, yes, certainly.
So, regarding the song here, let me just say, I'm going to take this thing to a composer in Hollywood and see if she'll get in touch with Aajonus and really make a song out of it. Now, we have a potential potluck a month from today. A couple that was here earlier today agreed to have it in their house, so I'll get their address and send out an email and all that stuff. But why don't we see if we can get this song and figure it out? So when we get together next time, we'll be all organized. We'll have all the music and the whole deal for November 18th.
When is the next potluck for the next month?
November 18th.
November 18th.
Is that,
You're going
is
to
the Q&A?
6 o'clock like that
18th is a Sunday. We'll have a potluck in the marina down here.
So make sure I have everybody's email address, and I'll get you the song information ahead of time, so we're kind of semi-rehearsed.
Well, I don't know. It depends on if somebody can produce some
Well,
music.
I know a Hollywood composer, so
Okay.
I'll get her in touch with you.
Okay, great.
Nothing for her opinion.
Okay.
You said there were three. You didn't have to name all three, or just two?
I don't remember the other one.
Oh,
The guy is kind of flaky that sends out his emails saying,
So it's not, so it has nothing to do with co-opportunities, it's a private food club, and you...
it's like hers is a private food club. I don't even know there's a private food club. This other guy has another.
Yeah, so...
No place for meat?
Pardon?
No place for meat?
Meeting both of them.
Oh, I thought okay.
No. Ours are everything. Absolutely everything. You got meats, you got lamb, you got goats, you got camel milk, you got lamb chops, you got lamb cubes, you got bone marrow, both of them. She gets the buffalo, and Amos has his own cow bone marrow. Everything.
I believe that Amos will take any membership as long as you have a valid credit card when you join. Good.
But that's really Mary. That's Elderly LA. It's not Amos. She clears the credit card. You don't even get charged until 3 days after you deliver your credit card. Because they don't want you to charge back. They want to worry about you didn't receive something. Something like they don't charge your they don't record and charge your card until after you have the food and everything is clear.
That's what I said. They won't even debit it until you pick it up. You can. So if you've
2
ordered
days later.
right, but you've ordered it a week ahead, so it's.
Do you have any idea why Amos is not the premier?
His grass is older. He's encouraged it. His grass is really high. King's isn't that high. Isn't the same grass. different grass.
They live in the same vicinity, don't they?
10 miles apart.
10 miles isn't much distance.
Doesn't make a difference what grass you grow.
Can he change his grass?
I should find out from Scott.
Pardon?
I should find out what image is Scott.
His grass, I mean, I've seen them when I was there.
So he has
I mean,
prairie grass.
the cows, they go into the fields when he raises it, can't even see the cows. The grass is so hard.
Wow.
It's phenomenal.
What did they feed us?
Pardon?
So he has prairie grass.
Whatever it is, I don't know, I didn't ask.
Do you know if they feed any grains to their cattle? Because everybody I've talked to that has cattle says they feed them a little grain.
With his what he grows, or with his neighbors grow, his family grows.
But I mean, it is okay that they're eating the grain.
Cows eat grain all the time. If they're out in the wild, like my cows, they graze on the jungle. And let me tell you, as soon as that seed ripens and hits that, they're sucking the seed off of the dirt. When they're put into a pasture that's not going to seed, they don't get any seed. But in the wild, seeds are being produced at all times in different plants, different grasses, because they're not cropped. You know, and if they're eating everything and getting no grains, that's not right. So they should get some grains. So most of them only get 2 cups a day. I feed my cows 2 cups a day of rice. And they love me. That rice, they love that rice. I don't know what it is. But I had a bull who, attacked me and knocked me 20 feet. And if I had gotten a horn, I'd have been dead. I got up and slugged him so hard. My horse bit me once, and I slugged him too. And I mean, when you hit them in the jaw, their head isn't, even though they've got these big necks, they don't expect that. And, it knocks them over. But when I start feeding them, I personally, and not just my workers, my helpers, I feed them personally. And I also denied one of my cows because he butted me. So I denied him the rice. He learned very quickly. Very quickly. They love that rice.
Do you cook the rice before you give it to them, or you give it to them raw?
I give it to them raw, of course.
Wow. They can digest that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, do you ever hear of an animal that on its own that he cooks his food before?
Right?
Well, they have an extra stomach.
They have 2 to 4 stomachs. They have 2.5 times more digestive tract. They have 60,000 times more enzymes to digest the cellulose molecule.
What do you think of quinoa?
So what?
Quinoa.
Quinoa.
Quinoa. Quinoa.
Q-U-I-N-O-A.
Oh, I've never eaten it. No.
Quinoa is a grain, and they use it as wheat.
I'm not for grains.
It's actually a fruit.
It's like part protein, part carbohydrate.
Well, everything's part protein, but how much? Grains are like 8%, 15% of it's like, soybeans is like 18 to 20%, 22%. That's why they use soybeans to get the protein from it. It's very toxic protein once you cure it in kerosene for 72 hours.
What about greens?
Pardon?
What about greens, like eating my beans?
Still, you can't digest them. They say, even if you ferment them, you're not going to digest them. You have to be a cow or a goat or a sheep. If you feed them raw, dry soybeans, even a cow or a goat, maybe a camel will be able to digest it, and an elephant, but not any other animal. You have to soak them. That's why Amos soaks his grains before in milk before he gives them to his pigs and other animals, like chickens. He germinates those grains in milk.
And that's what you feed them during the year, but not in the winter?
Yeah, he feeds it to them in the winter.
I thought you said he said it's winter.
He wants more protein. he adds some fish meal. And the fish meal is entirely processed. Either gasoline or kerosene, break it down, plus the arsenic in it.
Dennis, how long does fish contract keep without being refrigerated? Like, we've had all this stuff up here all the time, all these meats and stuff. How long can they be out of the refrigerator?
So they become beef jerky.
And you can still eat them?
Yeah. I wouldn't eat them as beef jerky because there's no enzymes unless you can eat with pineapple or honey.
Yeah.
I don't eat beef jerky. I would if I had nothing else to eat.
Emergency food.
Yeah. Like the Eskimos, they make pemmican every year, and they make a 90-pound block. If they don't eat it by springtime, they bury it because they know there's no enzymes in it. So it's hard to digest and doesn't give you as much energy. It's a survival food only.
Better if you eat it with honey?
Pardon?
Better if you eat it with honey?
Yeah, then you have some enzymes. You'll digest maybe 2/3 of it.
Okay.
If you don't have honey with it, you're going to digest 5%, 10%.
Really? That little?
Well, they put blueberries with it, and that has that sugar in it.
Yeah.
So it starts breaking down the meat as they're dehydrating the block. So it pre-digests it with that. There's sugars in and certain enzymes in the blueberry.
But isn't it kind of high meat, though, the pemmican, sitting all that time?
To an extent, when they dehydrate it, it's still dehydrated. There's no active enzymes.
But it won't have, digested like
Why
high
do you
meat?
think they don't eat it? Why do you think they'll bury it if they didn't have to eat it?
Yeah.
I think the sliced meat sometimes leave it in the refrigerator. Just flat.
Dry it out.
And then it dry out and you lose a lot of enzyme.
There's a lot. If you're going to do that, then you look at some pineapple or some honey with it.
Yeah, like that. Sometimes.
Sometimes there are certain proteins that mix some amino acids in the mix together that won't mix when you do that. I had several patients that have to have it that way. And since they start eating some pineapple or honey, not both, one or the other, which one they do better with, then they get they still get what they need in the meat as well as digesting almost all of it. But if you dry it into jerky, you're not going to digest a lot of it. Pardon?
I don't try that.
You know that deer? I packed it in different quart yards, and I kept some up until 2010. And I had an olive oil, and it was perfect.
Wow.
Starting from when?
1990, December 1999. All
10
the way to
years.
2010.
10 years.
Refrigerated.
10 years.
10 years, not refrigerated.
Yeah, it didn't break
Wow.
the glass.
Pardon?
There was no gas coming out of it? Or?
No, the olive oil didn't allow anything to grow. Didn't allow oxygen to move in the meat.
And the meat didn't break down inside.
It didn't become high meat.
Just like frozen in time.
Wow.
It tasted, more acidic and a lot like olive oil.
How much
Well, I put olive oil. I put about 6 ounces by volume of olive oil first. Then I put slices of deer that were about 2 inches by an inch. I basted them first with the olive oil, then put them inside, and there's the olive oil. I stuffed them in the olive oil raised and coated and kept every space so no oxygen, no air could stay in there. And then I stuffed more meat up there, and I poured more olive oil in until I got just about 1/8 of an inch of olive oil above the meat, and then capped. I kept it I kept it in a low cupboard where it was cooler, not in a high cupboard. So it was a low cupboard, but always a room temperature.
You're feeling how much olive oil, half a cup?
Were you listening to what I said? It's on your tape.
Does it matter if the chunks are bigger? Like I've got some I put away 2 years ago, but there were huge chunks instead of like slicing the way you just
I
said.
haven't tried it with huge chunks.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'll find out when I open it.
How old?
2 years.
Oh, good.
Well, when you first wrote that news with olive oil, yeah.
Okay.
But I put it in the fridge, but that wouldn't matter, would it?
It will be, well, the olive oil will solidify.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Olive oil solidifies below, was it 72 degrees?
Oh, so maybe it's
60-something?
maybe it's been ruined then.
No.
Huh? Well, I'll find out. I'll have to break into it sometime.
I'd like to know.
Huh?
I'd like to know.
Yeah, okay.
I can get the steer meat just a little freezing. I guess it is affecting the quality of meat because that's the only way I can get it. Raising my lower temperature, raise the temperature. I told them.
Well, you have to get it as soon as they butcher it, so they don't freeze it.
It's just low freeze.
It doesn't make any difference. When I fed animals the frozen meat, they all got skin disorders. The animals that eat the same meat unfrozen got no skin disorders. So you lose 80% of your nutrients when you freeze anything.
Well, it's not quite frozen. It's just below.
If it's at below freezing temperature and it's been there for a week, it's frozen.
No, I've felt it. When it's frozen ground, they call it chill.
Uh-huh.
This is the only way you can get deer meat.
Find out when they butcher it. Get it from the fresh butcher. Yes.
Well, if it's frozen, it would be hard, wouldn't it?
The vendor, this is Bodley, Vernon, and I tried the vendor, Duncan, New Zealand. Duncan refers me back to Broadleaf, and I talked to him, can you get higher meat than they
But you have to just go online and search for a butcher that will butcher people's deers. A lot of people won't use all of it. They'll sell some of it if they can. And you just have that butcher call you when you have something fresh and ship it to you fresh. When he shot the deer, we were out in his backyard and there were some deer out there. He shot it through the lung. And that deer, like a cat, jumped straight up and went right back to grazing. The deer didn't even know what happened, and she went grazing off. And I said, you shot that deer. So I saw the hair come off and the deer jumped. He didn't think he hit it. And I said, well, all we have to do is follow the tracks where the deer went. And we were like 100 feet.
Yeah, it's just
And it fell over. And I butchered it in 3 hours. That was 3 hours wasn't bad because we had to skin it.
The brain is
Yeah.
shift around the skull.
Shit that skull open. Yeah. Get the brain out.
Where was the deer at? What area?
Nevada City.
But then cutting out the meat.
No, it was 3 hours altogether. 3 hours total. But it was hard work and it was constant, and I was rushing. I had to get it done. I had to get on the road.
What did you do?
Nobody else knew how to butcher, so I had to do it all.
Go back to that area again. Is it so good, the deer?
I don't know. That was 12 years ago.
It's no more populated.
Pardon?
It's no more populated now than it was. Yeah.
Well, what do you say we give Aajonus a hand here?
You can download that song. There are like I said, I found like 17 different versions. Some wouldn't let me download the video, and then I had to cut the MP3 off of the video. It's a process to get the tune into just the MP3, but you can get just listen to it. Everything until version of it.
So we have to go.
Pardon?
How long are you doing it for?
I'm here till November 3rd.
November,
Probably
November 3rd, I thought.
November 1st will be the last appointment.
I-
Well, I do have just a few days when I'm not looking in there. Because I only have 2 days here and 1 day there. So you're on the 9th.
Yeah.
That's right before I go up to Chicago.
So after November 3rd, when's the next time you're back for
It'll
appointments?
be January 3rd.
And then for how long? A few weeks? A month?
I'll be out for probably until April.
Oh, okay. How many, do you have lots of appointments?
Pardon?
Do you have any free? Lots of free, or just a few free till November 3rd?
Or
November 1st?
I have probably about 20 available.
Oh, you do? 20, okay. Okay.
Yes, no, absolutely. You have to call me. 310-589-0589. And be sure to take all your food with you, all of your dishes.
Can you repeat that?
310-589-0589.
Okay, good.
You just read, you think you got it, Lou?
It's that old number I had. I got it back.
Hit me first.
So, and you hit me second.
But you drew first.